It is the 80-20 rule. I say all the time, you've got 20% of the agents that do 80% of the work. So the reality is that I don't know the stat, but it's a large number of agents got in the business after 2020, and they've never experienced the ups and the downs and the different conversations and having a tough market and having to have difficult conversations. So they're just not skilled, and they're not good, quite frankly.
I think it comes down to inexperience and the fact that it's been pretty easy to be a real estate agent the past 5 years. Welcome back.
Welcome back, Jenny. It is a new year, and I got to be honest, I'm a little depressed today.
Wow. Okay. Why are you depressed, honey?
Well, my dog's lost.
Okay.
That's pretty depressing.
Yeah.
Stranger Things is over.
Right.
That's pretty depressing.
Uh-huh.
And Christmas season's over.
I know.
I always look forward to it.
You really don't like when the Christmas stuff comes down.
I don't. I'd leave it up all year.
I know. You try. Not me. I'm like fresh
you won't
start,
let me
ready
know.
to go, new year, move forward.
Yeah, you're a little weird from that standpoint.
No, I think I'm motivating from that standpoint. Well, we are here for season 2 of The Hamiltons Unlocked, and we've made it through 2025, which
I don't know how, but we did.
Great accomplishment, made it through the year, made it through the holidays, and here we are. And today we're going to talk about some of the things we learned in 2025, right? From the real estate standpoint.
I don't think I learned anything in 2025.
Well, I've got something I learned. I learned how to read a COVID flu test.
Yeah, you learned how to not read a COVID flu test. Gosh, you're trying to quarantine me for 2 weeks.
Well, I was trying to keep everybody safe, and I would like to write a strongly worded letter to whoever made those tests and made the C control and not COVID. Like, that makes no sense. Like,
Yeah.
if it lines up, if the little thing lines up and it's a C, it says CABT. Those were my choices.
Yeah.
Like, A and B flu, C for COVID, T is for test, obviously.
Yes.
Why would you make
But
COVID the T?
I have no idea, but all I know is you were trying to keep me in that room for at least 7 days.
Well, yes.
And I was sick. I hated being sick.
I
never
know.
get
I
sick.
locked you away, but then I came out to throw away the test and I was like, weird. Normally there's 2 lines. And I started reading it, and that's when I realized I had inadvertently quarantined you and canceled like Christmas for
I
the
bet
family.
that's happened to a lot of people.
Yeah. Well,
that have taken that.
I think we should do a poll on that. How many people
Yep.
misread their COVID
It
test?
has
this
had
year?
to have happened a lot more than not.
Right. That's what I think too. Thank you for validating me. Okay. Well, let's talk about maybe some of the things we learned in real estate for 2025.
Yes.
I'd say the biggest change for us, and maybe it's because we're behind, but I think the biggest change
Probably.
in 2025 for real estate agents on a whole would be, what do you think it is?
Well, I think it was the AI class,
Yes.
the introduction into artificial intelligence.
It's like for the first year, ChatGPT wrote every description for FMLS.
Yeah, I'll never forget going to the AI class with you, and I took not a lot of notes, but I remember leaving the class and going, "This is amazing!
Right.
Holy crap! How do we implement all of this now?"
Yeah, you were
I don't
really
even know what it
excited.
meant. I
Yeah,
knew what none of it meant. Well, maybe a few of the things.
right. You were really excited, but then completely overwhelmed.
I'm a big picture person. I
That's
see the big
true.
picture, but
Yeah.
I don't know how to actually implement all of it.
So what would you say has made, what would you say that has done for real estate then?
We hear all the time that AI is going to replace real estate agents, that it's going to put us out of business and everybody else out of business. But actually, I don't think that is the case at all. I really think that those that don't embrace AI and learn how to implement it into their business, they're going to get left behind.
Yeah.
Because even the things that we've been able to do this year with AI have advanced our business, have made us much more efficient, I guess.
Right.
So I look at it as, at this point, so much of a positive because it helps us become better agents to our clients and to serve them at a higher level and at a faster level and to do a lot of the administrative things that, I know gosh, how many times do I have to come in there and go, stop working on this description or this marketing piece?
Yeah, it's really
And
become
now-
my best friend.
Yeah, it has, because now it can really take away the time that it took to do that and
Right.
make it so much better.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I would agree that it's definitely become a leverage piece. I think that what you have to be really careful of is it doesn't take your voice out of it, though.
yeah.
Like we've been joking about the long dash when people write like the total giveaway. That,
Oh, it's obvious they've been on ChatGPT.
right,
when you
that
see the long-
ChatGPT or
dash
whatever
line.
program wrote this for you.
Yeah.
And so I do think it's important to remain in the business, but let it leverage out some of your time, to your point, with our clients. What I love is his ability to take notes on our clients while we're meeting with them, remember things in emails, so we really don't drop the ball, so we can serve them at a higher level. But you're right, it's not negotiating for our clients. It's not, making decisions for them. It's not able to price a house in the market at this point. Maybe it will be one day, but right now we're still necessary. But I would say that's a huge change that's come about for our business, and I think in real estate in general this year.
It doesn't understand emotion either, at this point. But I think one of the coolest things that we've already used it for is when we meet with buyers or sellers, we were able to let the conversation be recorded, and then it literally dumps all the notes and tells us and builds a profile out for our buyer, so that we don't have to sit there and do another hour and a half to 2 hours worth of work.
Yeah, it's
So it's been
definitely
pretty neat.
helped us move faster, and I think definitely helped our clients have a better experience with us. Okay, next up. I mean, this year the market shifted, and it didn't tell anybody.
Yeah,
that it
where was
gonna-
AI to tell us that the market shifted?
Nobody told us that the market was going to change, and it just did.
Yeah.
And really kind of right in the middle of the year. So what would you say is a big difference that happened from the first half of 2025 to the second half of 2025 in the market itself that we've learned from?
Well, I think when you look at even just the statistics on how many homes have had to take price reductions, that right there is screaming that pricing has changed drastically. And real estate really has become so much more, well, it's always been hyper local, but it is more hyper local now, pricing wise, than ever before. You can have, our neighborhood, for example, is still somewhat of a seller's market, and you could cross the street and it becomes more of a buyer's market.
Yeah. So the market's become fragmented, right? So it's a luxury condo, is going to perform very differently than a $400,000 single family home in a great school district.
Yeah.
It just is. Where 2 or 3 years ago, or even the beginning of this year, almost, you could put a home on the market and it sells within a couple of weeks at least. And that's to be expected. And nothing was special necessarily about what you had to
Right.
do in order to get it sold. Now, when we're having conversations with our sellers and our buyers, we're saying, okay, in this market, in this area, in this price range, right, this is what you can expect. It's much more fragmented and broken down than it was, what we've seen the past 5 years.
Yeah, from 2020 to 2024, really, it didn't matter a whole lot.
Right.
You put a price on a house wherever it was located for the most part, it was going to sell really quick.
Right.
And as a seller, you're going to get most of the things you want. Now, it really depends. It depends on the school district. Sometimes it depends on not just the high school district, but the elementary school district.
That's right.
Or the neighborhood within that district.
Yeah. And knowing the differences in all these markets is part of what sets us apart, and also brings us to kind of the third thing that we've really experienced a lot and learned in 2025 about the level of experience with agents, working with other agents, right?
It is the 80-20 rule. I say all the time, you've got 20% of the agents that do 80% of the work. So the reality is that I don't know the stat, but it's a large number of agents got in the business after 2020, and they've never experienced the ups and the downs and the different conversations and the having a tough market and having to have difficult conversations. So they're just not skilled, and they're not good, quite frankly.
I think it comes down to inexperience and the fact that it's been pretty easy to be a real estate agent the past 5 years.
Yeah, it has.
Yeah.
That's true.
That hustle culture of real estate has not had to exist. And you haven't had to be very good at your job to have success and make a lot of money. And I think that is changing. And, we've talked about this before, but you got in the market right before the Great Recession. I got into it literally smack in the middle of it. And we saw a market that felt uncomfortable. Right?
Yep.
We saw a market where you had to have tough conversations. You had to be able to negotiate. Things took a lot more time to sell. Buyers took a lot more time to make decisions, and things were generally harder. And a lot of the agent population now does not have that level of experience.
Yeah,
And
they
we
haven't
ha-
had to have those conversations.
And we have to work with them.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
That's our partner in a transaction often. And that can be really frustrating for us, which I think is what you're talking about. But I think for clients, for sellers, and for buyers, investors going into 2026, you better find an agent who knows what's up or is willing to learn. It's our comfort zone. to be in a market that doesn't move that quickly.
It's true. I mean, honestly, the last 4 years has not been a comfort zone for us.
Yeah.
It's a market that we didn't know. I mean, we've never been in, and I
Right.
don't think we'll ever be in again.
It will probably, I mean, some bad stuff would have to happen in order for us to be in a market like that again. And I would rather it just be steady because I think that that's what matters. But
Or more balanced.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I do think that in 2025, a lot of people have learned that you cannot do what you did for the past 5 years and get the same result.
Yes.
And we're prepared. We're prepared to make that change and work that way for our clients. And it's going to be up to, other agents if they're willing to do the same.
Yeah. No more of doing the same to get the same results.
That's right.
That's right.
Okay. Well, next up, we're going to talk about what 2026 has in store for us. And we're looking forward to a great season 2.
Yeah, some of our predictions, right, for this year.
Yes. And in season 2, we're going to be talking about Scott's controversial TikToks. We're going to be talking about some of the questions that we receive from clients that, maybe would be considered the most common questions or, as you said, like the dumbest questions. There is no such thing.
There is not a dumb question.
Yes,
but there are
is.
dumb questions.
Let's be clear. There's dumb questions. But we have a lot to look forward to for season 2 for the Hamiltons Unlocked. And I'm ready to go. Let's do it.
Yep. Sounds great.
Energy 'cause I know I'm in my element. Ooh, yeah.